Well, our next guest has something to say to J.B. Pritzker. He is Joe Abraham, the father of Katie Abraham, who was killed by the illegal referenced in a back and forth that we'll play in just a moment with J.B. Pritzker. And my staff will tell me when we have that. But also with me is Florida Congressman and gubernatorial candidate Byron Donalds. Byron, let's go to you first. This situation today, I want to talk about this Padilla stunt. I'm going to talk about what you did on Capitol Hill. But this Padilla stunt, he barges in L.A. And after he's talking over her, Bill Melugin has the original video. After he's talking over her, and then they try to start ushering him out. That's when he said, "I'm a sitting U.S. senator. I'm a U.S. senator." But initially, he walked in without a lapel pin, without he was in casual clothing, a jacket and a polo or something like that. But he didn't want anyone to think he was a senator until the drama started to really unfold. Your reaction to that?
My reaction is that Senator Padilla was really trying to make a name for himself. Nobody even knows who the man is nationwide until right now. And let's be very clear. I was taught at a very young age by my mom, if you decide to push your way through police officers or security details, then you take your life into your own hands. They are there to protect Secretary Noem. We all know the security details of our cabinet secretaries. You don't see members of Congress pushing their way through unless they want to put themselves on TV, put themselves on camera. So that was a stunt. And secondly, I will tell you, this administration led by President Trump, they are actually the most transparent administration we've ever seen. You could never get an answer out of Joe Biden or his cabinet. So if he wanted answers, all he had to do was ask or schedule a meeting. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to make a name for himself, and he looked ridiculous in the process. The American people have to understand, these Democrats, they just want limelight. They don't want real solutions to fix the problems brought by Joe Biden and the Democrats.
Yeah, well, they want to cement their narrative and going into this weekend of protests. They're authoritarian. They're trying to arrest Democrat senators, throwing them on the ground. There was someone who I think Ben Rhodes even said he thought it was racial. Okay. I mean, it's just ludicrous. Mr. Abram, we are so sorry for the loss of your daughter. I know today had to be very hard listening to Governor Pritzker. We have the soundbite where he was asked about your daughter and her allegedly being killed by an illegal immigrant. Watch.
Earlier this year in Governor Pritzker's Illinois, a previously deported illegal alien who had re-entered the country was allegedly drunk driving near the University of Illinois when he struck a car sitting at a red light and then fled the scene. The crash killed 2 young women, including Katie Abraham. Governor Pritzker, do you agree that this illegal alien who killed Katie should never have been in the United States in the first place?
If the person is a criminal of any sort, then they ought to be
So that person had a right to be in the United States?
They ought to be given their due process rights, and they ought to be convicted.
Mr. Edwards, he could not say that illegal alien shouldn't be in the United States. Mr. Abram.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough day. I want to thank Chairman Comer and the American Border Story for helping to pull this sort of together. But what struck me, or what I found interesting throughout the whole proceedings, was that it seemed like they wanted everything to happen on the back end versus the front end, right? If you want to bring in immigrants, which I'm all for. My parents were immigrants, so I'm all for it, however many you want to bring in. But you got to do it in the front end and not have unaudited folks just coming in. And then when something happens, okay, now they're a criminal, and now we'll remove them because we didn't know who they were in the first place. But when you're on the back end, it's so much tougher to clean up, and the carnage you leave, the wake that's left behind. I mean, me and my family, the rest of my life, I've got to live with this. I got to live without my baby girl, Katie. And she was, by the way, Laura, one of a kind, a beautiful soul, a witty girl, just would have been so successful in everything she would have done. Whatever it is, Katie had it, believe me. And this world, to me, will be a less interesting place now that she's not in it.
Joe, Governor Pritzker's answer, did that give you any sense that to him, the governor of your state that her life mattered? Because Senator Padilla's being treated the way he was, they rallied around that real fast. That was an outrage of epic proportion for them today. But did your daughter's life seem to matter very much to him?
No, I don't think it mattered to most of them in that committee. And unfortunately, if they knew Katie, it would have been a different vibe. It would have been a different perspective from them, right? They don't know her. She's just sort of a collateral damage. I've just got to sort of, suck it up and move on, and it's for the greater good. And Katie lays on the altar of I don't really know what anymore. I don't even know what's going on. Other than that, it was a Wild West. And again, look, just get a process. Do it properly. Audit the folks that are coming in. Like, this person didn't have to be in this country, didn't have to be in our state. And, from what I can tell and everything I've heard from law enforcement is that, he wasn't a productive person. He wasn't really trying to be a good citizen. I'm just not sure exactly what we're doing, I guess is my point. And that's where I say the front end needs to get taken care of and audited. And you don't need laws to do that. You need a good process.
Well, Congressman, I know you care. I know you care about the victims of illegal alien crime. And if someone doesn't respect our laws coming into the country, what does that say about them while they're in the country? I don't care if you're a cook or a this or that. You did not do it the right way. Period. End of story.
You're absolutely correct. And to Mr. Abraham, I got a chance to meet him before our hearing started, and so sorry for his loss, but it's something that just did not need to happen. And you had these Democrat governors who were trying to place blame on everybody else except for their party and their leadership that opened up our borders to criminals and people who have hurt the American people, all for the sake of their religion on open borders. It is a terrible policy. It makes no sense. It takes away resources from so many Americans. And then the worst of it all, you have the story of Mr. Abraham, of Jocelyn Nungary, and so many others, of Rachel Morin, who have lost their lives. The Democrats need to get their acts together and live in the land of the real and not this political landscape that has really hurt and victimized so many Americans. This is why their poll numbers suck. This is why they will continue to lose. And if they want to rally around Alex Padilla, be my guest, but the American people simply are not with you.
Yeah, he's the real victim here today. Okay, none of the families who show up in these hearings. The senator is the real victim. Joe, Congressman, both of you, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.